Alongside Mark Springer and D-Mac, Darren McKee, Alex Ryan-Emmy coming to you guys live from our studios here in Lone Tree after a circuitous route brought me back there later than I anticipated this evening. Avs get a 1-0 win in their final matchup prior to the NHL's mandated holiday break. 1-0 with just one total point in the game, an unassisted Sam Girard breakaway goal. The number one star of the game, obviously, guys, Scott Wedgwood, stands on his head. He probably got scored on. We don't necessarily know. Jared Bednar thinks the puck probably went in the net, but because he's got a dark-colored glove and dark mesh, we'll never know, fellas. We'll never know.
I need indisputable, undeniable evidence, and there's plausible deniability. There is a shred of doubt. That's a great save. I just give him credit where credit's due on that front. Never wear a see-through glove. I don't know if anyone ever would, but never do that. Never wear the clear plastic bags you have to bring into arenas nowadays. Speaking of arenas, live out at Ball Arena is D-Mac. Welcome to the start of Between the Pipes, my friend.
I know, and usually I can't see you, I can't hear you, so I'm trying all sorts of new technical things, and so you can hear me and see me pretty good up here. And
you are crystal clear.
I am at Ball Arena. If I can sort of prove it. So I know that's bright. So
that's AI.
That's AI. Yeah. Wedgwood was he was great afterwards, as he always is. He's always great to talk to. You know, he is not on the list for Canadian goalies right now for the Olympics. And he was asked about that. And, you know, I've heard him talk about that before, guys, and I'd be curious about your opinions. How much better do you have to play at the time of a tournament to be asked to be part of the tournament? And it is kind of a little bit of an awkward situation right now, because you can make the argument Wedgwood and Blackwood should be the Canadian goalies.
Without a doubt. They know that they're going to take Jordan Binnington to Italy. And the reason why is because, well, he's shown that even though he is statistically the worst starting goalie in the National Hockey League right now, and the numbers back that up, it is an ugly season for St. Louis, an ugly season for Binnington. What he has shown is that when the lights are bright, he steps up big time. He showed it in the Four Nations Cup. They obviously win that tournament. He had the historic run as they beat Boston in 7 games, going from worst to first over the course of a half of a season under Craig Berube that year. He plays well in big games. He's just not playing well now. The other Canadian goalies around the league, like Logan Thompson, definitely has a step in for this team. I do believe that there is a case to be made for both of those netminders, Blackwood and Wedgwood, to be there alongside Logan Thompson. But because they're always going to bring Jordan Binnington, they're going to have to choose between one of the two. The issue is they're both outplaying each other every single game.
Why not just copy it? Why not just look at what the Avs are doing? If you're Team Canada, why not just copy what they're doing? Just bring it.
I would bring them both. My first blue line would be Taves and Makar, and my top line would be McKinnon. I mean, how many Canadians from the Avs can you take? You know, I mean, take them all. Take whatever you can. By the way, that is being asked of Wedgwood kind of over and over and over again. It's sort of getting a little annoying, and reason why is because of how well he's playing. As Bednar said, he was the best player on the ice by a mile. He had the right color glove, but I'm curious who has the wrong color glove. But whatever, it's the right color glove. It made the difference. And also comments about Sam Girard, how he's coming back. And Bednar was quick to point out, listen, there's process. There's a step to coming back. Like, it doesn't happen all at once for somebody who missed as much time as Girard missed. And Sammy G, you know, everybody loves him. And so he's on the right path as well. A pretty positive vibe and everything like that. You know, they get a couple days off. Bednar says he'll have no problem disconnecting. I don't know if he's going to go up his ranch and split rail or whatever he said he does. That sounds like work, but he likes to do just in his spare time.
He looks like a lumberjack.
He does. He splits rail for fun.
He said he was asking Santa for some new fly fishing equipment, some waders, so that he can go up there in the Rio Grande and fish by himself.
He is so much more of a man than the three of us. It's
100%. You put the manliness of all three of us into one guy, and we don't touch Bedsy.
No. Other than that, it's a really relaxed locker room. It's a really confident room. Gabe Landeskog, who really is up on the top line again. We'll see how long that goes. But, I mean, listen, Bednar did say, even when we're not playing our best, we're figuring out ways to win. And he definitely said we didn't play our best tonight. They were a little slow from the jump. It really wasn't their best game, guys. But they had rest. Utah had rest, and now there's more rest for everybody. And inside the division, these games are just difficult. So when you just gut it out like they did tonight, that's what you get. So good mood all around from everybody inside of the locker room. And Betsy's going to take some time off, and basically that's it. And we'll see with Wedgwood. I think he'll be disappointed if he doesn't get that nod from Team Canada. He's playing it off like it's no big deal, but I think he's thinking about it. I think,
of course, I think it's something that Wedgwood probably never thought would even happen. He would never be on the short list for one of these things. He was a journeyman goalie. He's never really been a true bona fide starter in this league. This is likely his only shot, not at going to the Olympics, but at representing Canada kind of ever. He deserves it. I think Mackenzie Blackwood does as well. It's going to be a shame if both of them somehow get left off the roster, and it would be a huge mistake on the part of Hockey Canada.
I think they give Canada the best chance to win. Who started for the Caps tonight? The Caps allowed 7 goals. It was Logan Thompson. He allowed 6 goals tonight.
Wow.
Man, Binnington's not. I know he's big game Binnington. I don't know if that's what people call him, but there's alliteration there, and he is. But Wedgwood and Blackwood give Team Canada the best chance to win. I like Logan Thompson. He's a good goalie. He allowed 6 goals tonight. He's really kind of outkicked his coverage in recent years. Maybe Wedgwood's outkicking his a touch just based on what he was in years past. But it's not even just the results. Watch him play. I mean, it's as good or better than any goaltender you will see in the NHL right now. If Team Canada, I'll say this, if Team Canada doesn't bring at least one Wood, they should bring them both. But if they don't bring at least one Wood, that's not where my money's going.
Oh, dude, as an American, I hope they don't bring either one of them. You want the Americans to win gold? Keep Wedgwood and Blackwood off the rosters.
That's bad juju for Scott Wedgwood to be sitting on his couch, and then Logan Thompson or Jordan Binnington allows a pizza. Wedgwood's going to be eating pizza being like, that's a shame.
Hey, before I split, and I'll split here in a second as they're kicking us all out of here. Well, they're not really, but, you know. How do you guys feel about how many Avs are going to play in the Olympics rather than just sit around and kind of rest up? Because it could be, dude, what are we talking about? 6 or 7, huh? Something like that, maybe more.
Yeah, you and I were going over the roster. It's going to be McKinnon, Makar, Landeskog, Natchez, Lehkonen, Taves, maybe one of the goaltenders or both, maybe Olofsson, probably Brock Nelson. So there's a chance that 10 Avs could be there in Italy. That would be without a doubt the most. Maybe Florida has an opportunity to have more than that, but like 10, if everyone gets there, it's more likely probably 7 players. Kiviranta probably on the outside going in. Lehkonen for sure. Olofsson probably on the outside of Team Sweden, but like Landy, without a doubt, is playing on that team. He might like wear the C for Sweden this year. I like it for everyone not named Gabe Landeskog. I don't want to put more miles on that knee, considering how good he looks. That scares me.
I think he's got to do it. It's just one of those things you have to do, no matter which player, but especially that player. You know, he's got to do that. And all right, I understand the injury risk. And if we're up to 10 players, well, that's a larger sample size. That's more chances for injury. You saw what happened to Matthew Tkachuk. He got hurt. Brady Tkachuk, both the Tkachuks got hurt. Matthew was able to come back by the Stanley Cup playoffs. Florida goes on to win a cup. You just hope it's nothing overly long term. You are rolling the dice a little bit, but I like these guys, they don't back away from challenges. You got to take the hard road. You've got to, and you just got to risk it. It is what it is. Everyone's doing it. If all my friends are jumping off a cliff, you want to know what I'm doing? I'm jumping off a cliff. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Also, before you get out of here,
Yeah.
I just have to point this out.
Yeah.
We all thought that Nathan McKinnon was going to challenge for the Art Ross Trophy this year because he was leading in all of the stats the whole season. Now he still leads for the Rocket Richard. He still has 30 goals. No one else has that in the league right now. Connor McDavid went into tonight's matchups with a 1 point lead on Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
The Edmonton Oilers scored 5 goals in their hockey game. Connor McDavid assisted on every single one of them. You can kiss the Art Ross goodbye. McDavid now has a 6-point lead on McKinnon, and he's not slowing down anytime soon.
Well, at least the Stars lost in overtime to the Red Wings. I
Thank
suppose.
God.
Yeah. And hey, look, we're 2 days away from Jesus's birthday, and McJesus is doing the thing. You know, it was inevitable. It's all inevitable.
D-Mac, thank you again for logging on. Great connection. It's nice to talk to you and actually,
I know,
not through a potato.
I know. So we'll try to. And by the way, I did the most gutless thing of all time today, Spring. You're gonna love this. There was a little bit of an emergency with Raj, and Raj was like, D-Mac, you got to help out and take over. And I gutlessly went into the radio booth, looked at Connor McGahey, and said, "You got this, right, Connor?" And Connor did.
Work smarter, not harder. Okay.
So I've done this many times because of the connection issues. If you're not hardwired in at Ball Arena, and right now I just had my iPad, I can't put the Ethernet in. I go, okay, I need to get to the studio, so I have a solid internet connection. And what I do is I leave directly after the second period's intermission is over, and I have more than enough time to get back. I'm driving down 25. I'm flying. And I get past the university exit. Like I'm passing the golden spires of the University of Denver. And all I see are red taillights. And 25 is completely closed underneath the Colorado overpass. I went from being at the studio with like 15 to 20 minutes to spare to calling DMAC and calling our program director going, guys, you don't have anyone to do post game. I'm not moving right now.
Unbelievable.
Suffice to say, I won't be doing that again.
But all that being said, we have to recognize Mark Springer for clocking in. What I got is at about a 16 and a half hour day right now.
Oh yeah. No, it was even worse a few days last week because it was the Avs Preds. That puck drop was like 8 p.m. And I did the 6 a.m. that day.
DMAC,
you've been doing it, DMAC.
Oh, Pshaw.
Once upon a time, Spring and I were doing like double overtime post-game shows in the playoffs where you had the 8:52 puck drop like in San Jose.
Yeah.
And I was working on the morning show at that time, like actively producing the Twitch broadcast and doing stuff in the middle and commercials and all that stuff. I did sleep on the couch one time in between an Avs game and getting up for Moshe Lombardi and Kane the next morning.
But boys, we signed up for this profession.
I live for it.
This is us breaking big rocks into little rocks, talking about hockey at 10:30.
I will never say no. It's a privilege actually to get to do it.
There's no doubt we are not complaining, just describing. I'll let you guys go so you can talk real hockey without me. I'll see you guys.
Merry Christmas, buddy. Darren McKee, there he goes. Again, very special thank you to Connor McGahey tonight for hanging out for the first 2 segments of the post-game show. It was crazy. I panicked. I called our program director, who's like already well on his way to Philadelphia with his family for the Christmas holiday, and panicking.
We're a team here. Like it really is a great team. Like everyone, I was thinking about this the other night because I've gotten some Christmas gifts and everyone's so cool. We help each other. But I'm serious, man. I think we said this before we went on air. It's a good thing the Avs won. Like Connor McGahey he's the best. Okay. Like both Raj and I are friends with Connor. We joke with Connor. He's genuine. But when the Avs lose, Connor
Connor wears
Connor's
his emotions on his sleeve.
Connor is from here. Who is he from? Breckenridge or something like that?
Yes.
You've seen the photo of him, little kid outside McNichols or whatever. He's just like, I'm at an Avs game. He loves this team.
Wait, he had a voice that was that high? There's no way. I can't see that. When Connor was 8 years old,
it
he
was
still had a deep
drastic,
baritone.
Raj. When his balls dropped, I mean, it was like he showed up to school the next day and they were like, whoa, you just lowered 6 octaves.
Yeah, it was a very good thing that the Avs won because Connor was like, oh, yeah, no worries. I got you, buddy. It's so funny that this night started off. So Connor missed just his second Avs game in history since he has been here following the 48-point season. Was he there? No, he was here at the 48-point season. Only his second missed game. He missed one during COVID because of a test, some nonsense where he wasn't able to. Kevin McGlue had to come on. He missed a game 2 games ago because he had a procedure and he was cut into by a doctor. I hadn't seen Connor in a handful of weeks. So I saw him tonight at the arena. I got there for pregame show and blitz with you. I shake Connor's hand, and just out of sheer muscle memory, I do the thing like, when you go up to your buddies, you just give them like a tap on the chest, like, oh, hey, like, good to see you, that type of thing. You either do it on the shoulder or you do it like right in the middle of his chest. And I forcefully give him a double tap directly on his stitches that are like 36 hours old. He's not allowed to travel with the team on the flight because they're that new. Smacked the living shit out of him. Felt like I almost killed the guy. And guess what he still did? Covered for me for 2 seconds in the post-game show.
Oh my gosh. Dude, today was one of those days. I mean, you had a moment. It was just a weird day for me. Just like a bunch of like little things have like kind of going wrong, but they like everything works out, like Cam Johnson hurts his knee and maybe he's okay. We're just escaping by the hair on our chinny chin chins today. But we worked through it. And as far as this Avs game goes, it's so rare that you see a game in the NHL where only one player records a point. Like, that's it. It was a Sam Girard goal. No, unassisted. That was your win. Now, it's Scott Wedgwood and Sam Girard. Really, I mean, at the end of the day, and you got to give props to Sammy G because, I mean, that's all him. And he's had a couple plays like that in his career. He had an overtime winner a couple years ago. I want to say it was against Nashville because I think it was his former Preds. I remember tweeting about that, where he makes a defensive play, strips it, boom, other way, makes a nice move and goes top shelf. And that's skill. Like we've seen Taves do it. Obviously, Makar, Girard can do it. And I mean, he's been playing. We've talked about him over the past 3-4 games after we called him out. And then the next game, he played well. And I said, thank you for listening to Between the Pipes, Sam Girard. And there's no doubt that we will take all the credit in the world because ever since we said, yo, Sam, man, he's had like 4 straight really good games and just made an excellent play tonight.
Yeah, there's been times I do think he is a very ebb and flow type of player. That pairing of him and Malinsky had to bounce back, and they did. That was a very solid effort for them against this Utah team / the old Arizona Coyotes always play them in this weird, like, low-scoring affair, and it's not like Utah's, like, a very trappy team. They're not. They're top 10 in expected goals for. They're top 10 in expected goals against. They play a relatively open style of hockey. It's not like you're playing 1-3-1 neutral zone trap the entire time, and it's all gummed up. It's not Dean Evison hockey. But for some reason, when they play the Avs, it's just like, we're going to play this horrible 1994 style of clutch and grab, and no one's taking any chances, and there's hardly any power plays. Like, it's just a boring hockey game.
Yeah, we've seen these Avs, Yotes / Mams matchups where that franchise plays that way. And look, okay, do I think that the Avs were at their best tonight? Sans for Wedgwood and the Girard play. And I thought Girard actually had a couple moments outside of that. No, of course they weren't at their best. But give credit to Utah. Like they just decided they're gonna tighten everything up. They're gonna play physical. They're gonna make the zone entries, and they're gonna make those tough. They're gonna collapse on you. They're just gonna force the issue. They just focused defensively tonight, and they backed up their guy Vitek Vanacek, who was a late start because
Karel
Karel Vejmelka was a late scratch with an upper body injury. In fact, the Mammoth signed Colton McIntyre to an amateur tryout agreement to serve as the backup tonight.
He's a 21-year-old kid who last played in the Eastern Hockey League. I don't think he's like actively playing right now. He played for the Wasatch Renegades AAA hockey team, which is like a really I don't want to like kick the kid because he had his NHL debut tonight, which is really awesome. Like really, really cool that they do that. And the teams, when this thing happens, like they make you go and do a rookie lap as though you're part of the team and you're an emergency backup. Is what you are. Like the AAA team he played for is a garbage AAA club, and the dude's playing in a National Hockey game or National Hockey League game. He warmed up. He didn't actually play, but good on him.
No, it's great. You'll never forget that. That's Christmas memory right there. No universe like the Avs. They could have won 12-0 tonight, and no universe that he's seeing the ice. They would have taken Vanacek to get hurt. I thought Vanacek was solid. Man, it feels like as I just kind of think on this game, their best chance outside of the Girard goal, was it just the Natchez breakaway in the first period where Natchez hit the crossbar? Man, he came in with the head of steam. Really good shot. Hit the bar, though. That's about it.
That was pretty much it. It was the Wedgwood save that probably was a goal.
I'm just talking for Colorado because Wedgwood had some nice saves, and definitely the Keller play that with the glove on the line, and then there was Avs power play 2 is on back half of this game.
Daniel Boot.
No, Dylan Gunther's in the box. Olofsson or Taves tries to sling something up to Olofsson at the very end of the power play. Olofsson's going off for a line change. Whoopsies, he's not there anymore.
Oh, I thought it was Boot. I guess it was Genther.
It was Genther, yes. And Wedgwood made a good breakaway save there. Nice little snapshot. Got the pad out. I think Nichushkin had a rebound opportunity where he just couldn't get it on his stick. He did get tripped on that play, which put the Avs on a power play. That was about it. There wasn't a lot tonight.
I have requested that the NHL stats guys, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this turned around for tomorrow's midday show, because I wonder if like the league just goes on vacation in an hour and 15 minutes from right now. They might already be on vacation at this point. I've requested to see the amount of games since the expansion era that have ended 1-0 with just one player getting a point. There's got to be like 15 or fewer instances since like, the late 70s.
Could I count it on 2 hands? I feel like maybe I could count it on 2 hands, something like that.
Also, like I can't wait to get that list back and see how many of them were a defenseman.
There's that too.
There's a good chance that like, Sam Girard is the only player to win a 1-0 game as a defenseman scoring an unassisted goal.
Yeah.
But every time that I think it's going to be the only instance, they returned like a billion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could surprise you, but it is pretty rare. It's got to be pretty rare.
Yeah.
Regardless. So let's see. The Avs, they're the best team in NHL history at the Christmas break. 61 points. Tops an Anaheim Ducks team from the mid 2000s. That's your Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaf era Ducks.
Yep, good teams.
And I find it interesting, because we just talked about how Gerard, you mentioned we mentioned the McDavid 5 assists. So he passes McKinnon, who did not get a point. Gerard with the only Av with a point tonight. So McKinnon's stuck on 61 points. Avs have 61 points. The Avs and McKinnon have the same number of points here on December 23rd, 61 apiece.
I was thinking about this earlier today, Spring. We're so obsessed about the number 1 seed because it forces you to play against a team like, Utah, which would be likely a 4 or 5 game series. You would play against them or San Jose or whoever falls into that 8 seed. It matters so much because you don't want to go through Dallas. You don't want to have to go through Minnesota in round 1. You want those guys to beat each other up. I was thinking about the other side of the equation. If you're sitting in the 2 or the 3 seed and there's no chance to catch Colorado, or there's no chance to catch Dallas at the 2 seed. So I'm talking about Minnesota and the Stars. Do you maybe start to throw games at the end of the season to fall into wild card 1 so you don't have to go through the Central at all? You would give up any home ice advantage, but as the 7 seed, you would then go see whoever wins the Pacific, whether it's Anaheim or Vegas. Now, Vegas is a good team, don't get me wrong, but they're not Colorado and they're not Dallas right now. Would you start throwing games to go through the Pacific and then see whoever wins the Central in the West Final?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Benny hits it. It is very much 3D chess. I'm just trying to think about it from like a billion different directions.
I'm here for all types of shit like that. That's fascinating. Let's see. Obviously Dallas lost in overtime tonight. Shout out to the Detroit Red Wings, and Patrick Kane's been out for a handful of games, and Detroit's won 3 in a row. They lead the Atlantic. In fact, they're tied atop the East with Carolina because Carolina blew a lead to the Panthers tonight. Man, that
Guru,
East...
you don't get it. I'm talking about Dallas and Minnesota doing this. Colorado's likely going to be the 1 seed going in. Like, they're
this isn't Colorado.
Now. I'm talking about the Wild and the Stars going, oh, do we just go through the Pacific because it's way easier? Because it's true. Look at the results of the last 2 years of the Western Conference playoffs. Look at what has happened.
Well, you're avoiding
through.
You're avoiding. It's not just round 1; it's both rounds. It's the first 2 rounds you're avoiding, which are going to be gauntlets.
Much easier. It's so
if
much
you're the
easier.
If you're the 2 or the 3 seed, it's going to be the first 2 rounds are going to be a nightmare.
Yeah,
because you're playing. We've talked about it. If it's Minnesota versus Dallas, that's a gauntlet. That's at least 6 in my eyes. If you want to say Dallas is better, probably they are, but I think that's at least 6. And then you got to play Colorado, which is, again, at least 6, probably 7. So, yeah, no, that's why. But I started with Dallas because, okay, now they're 5 points back. Colorado got a point on them tonight. Dallas did pick up 1. Colorado picked up 2. Colorado 5 points ahead of Dallas. Minnesota lost. Now, this is a Philip Gustafson start. They lost in overtime at home to Nashville. Shout out to those Preds. Shout out to those dirty Preds.
Steven Stamkos.
They've won 3 straight. They're back to 500. They were playing better. You look back on that loss in Nashville. Avs did turn around and beat them at home a few days later. They were playing better. They have been playing better. Okay. And that's not for you, Raj. That's for people listening and watching. Okay, so Minnesota's at 50 points. Okay, my point of this here is I don't think if you're Dallas, you do that. But if you're Minnesota,
Dallas, you don't do it because Dallas knows whoever they get in round 1 as the 2 seed, you're going to find a way to get through. Whether it's Winnipeg or Minnesota or Utah, they're going to get through. And they're very confident because of the last 2 years going against the Avs. They just match up well against them. Now you're in Colorado's head. That is very true. So I agree with you there. Dallas probably doesn't do it. But if you're Minnesota, man, it is a sneaky good idea to go, why are we pushing here? Let's take our chances against Vegas or Anaheim. And then if we beat either one of those 2 teams, like, sure, Edmonton's gotten to the last 2 Stanley Cup finals, but they've gotten through because they haven't had to go through the Central until they're dog ass tired in the Western Conference final.
Okay, again, I want to reiterate. I like where your head's at. It's a fascinating thought, okay? I like the strategy, the strategery, the strategical nature. One of those was a word. Miss Moxie May in the chat. Throwing games seems antithetical to hockey mindsets. Yeah, it's, and another thing too is that, Dallas is so good that like the level of shit they'd have to do to lose consistently, like you just got to sick guys almost. And then if you're not trying, you can get hurt. Another problem is if you're Minnesota at 50 points, you have to hope that someone in the Central behind you gets into a wild card position, right? Because you're either West 3, or if you drop below like Utah is 11 points behind them.
Isn't that insane?
So they'd have to choke 11 points and still maintain wild card 2 position because you still don't want Colorado in round 1. You can't fall too much. Forbid. So you have to somehow fall a lot, but not enough where you still maintain wild card 2. So you're facing the winner of the Pacific. If you could pull it off, I mean, it is genius. Don't get me wrong. It's genius.
It's just stupid enough that it could work. But it's also stupid enough that it could blow up in your face and you go, oh shit, we're the 8 seed. We got to go to Colorado now in round 1. Now we're toast.
Yeah, that would blow up in their face. They're like you're in wild card 7 position on game 82, but then like the team in wild card 8 wins and you lose. And when you're actually trying, and now you're like, damn it, we were so close. Now we're playing Colorado of all things.
Part of the reason I'm going to bring this up on the morning sprint tomorrow too, and try and make a whole segment out of it. Part of the reason why I want this to happen, and it's not going to, but I would really love it to happen, is because it would force Gary Bettman to go back to 1 through 8. Like it would be teams actively going and showing him with the standings, this is fucking stupid. Let's go back to 1 through 8. A team would actively like try and circumnavigate it and get out. I'm thinking a lot.
It would be hilarious. You're trading for Quinn Hughes, and then all of a sudden you're trying to lose games. You're just like, my arm hurts. I can't play for 2 to 3 weeks.
December
upper body
23rd,
injury.
I need fun things to think about after a miserable game to watch.
Outside of Wedgie and the Gerard play, yes, it was largely a miserable game to watch.
All right, Spring, you have had a very long day. It's time for you to go to bed, buddy.
It's time for you to go to bed, man. You're you got to get off those roads. All right.
I sure do. That was all my fault today. I tried to do too much and tried to ensure that like we were gonna have great connections, and I should have just stayed at the.
Hey, you shoot for the stars. That's what you do. All right.
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for me in Spring until Saturday evening, late game, 8 p.m. puck drop against the Vegas Golden Knights on the 27th. NHL is off for their mandated holiday break starting tomorrow, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. But for Spring and for DMAC and all of our friends here at Altitude Sports Radio, I'm Raj. A Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy holidays for whatever you guys celebrate. Hopefully you're with family and friends, and it is a wonderful time. Even though it's 70 degrees here, I'm starting to feel the Christmassy spirits. So, Spring, Merry Christmas, brother.
Hey, Merry Christmas. I'm going to go watch some Die Hard.
See you guys on Saturday.